So far-right fascist and homophobic parents or radicalized Facebook moms and dads are here pictured brawling with people who are standing for LGBTQ plus kids, and that school, which is the Glendale School District's naming of Pride Month. Just saying that yes, we have Pride Month. Pride Month is June. We vote for that every single year, and we're gonna vote for it this year because yay, we recognize the gay community and our students and our faculty, just like massive corporations around this country and the world. But no. Protesters had other ideas. So local reporters actually estimated that 500 people, which included local parents opposed to recognizing the dignity of LGBTQ plus students, as well as others identified as traveling fascists and outside agitators without students in the district, like the far-right Proud Boys and other fascist groups, had gathered outside of the meeting. Now that's from Common Dreams, ergo the recognizing the dignity of the LGBTQ community. Many other reporters obviously have covered the story, but you can see, just go back to this footage, right? This is the scene. This is what is going down. Straight up brawls, fists being punched. There's someone with a bullhorn being punched and punched back. However, of course, according to the local cops, most of the protest was peaceful, but the small group of individuals engaged in behaviors deemed unsafe and a risk to public safety. The school board, again, was set to adopt this resolution that recognizes Pride Month. It's just like, hey, it exists, we recognize it, cool. And it has been done for the last 4 years. However, a shelter-in-place order disrupted the meeting as a brawl happened outside, and board members later unanimously adopted the resolution to declare June as Pride Month. As if it wasn't gonna be Pride Month without this school district saying that it was Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Oh my effing God. Ray, Glendale, California, it is like a fairly liberal place. You wouldn't imagine that this goes down there, but actually in different places around Los Angeles, there have been Proud Boys who have shown up, whether it's at a spa that there was a rumored trans guest at, or whether I think in North Hollywood a few weeks ago, same anti-gay protests. What do you make of the state that we're in now?
Yeah, it's definitely concerning. A couple things I just want to say off the top. First, and you and I talked about this before the show, but I mean, how many days are these kids even in school during June? Like 3, 4? It's not many. So to be fighting parents in the parking lot over this, I mean, even if you are a bigot, it just doesn't seem like the best use of your time or resources. So there's that. But then also, it's the fact that these far-right fascists love to call the queer community groomers and pedophiles. They also pretend that they champion parents' rights. But here they are going to schools where they don't have kids in them. One, telling the parents in those school districts, the parents who actually have children in the school districts, what they need to be doing as parents and how the school needs to be treating these children who aren't theirs. Also, of course, it's creepy and weird. We saw like Matt Walsh doing this, going to speak in front of school boards where his children did not attend, and Charlie Kirk, who I think at the time didn't even have any kids, doing this. So yeah. I mean, glass houses, stones, and all that. But one thing that's frustrating to me is that, I'm sure that a lot of the audience knows that there's been a significant rise in hate crimes against the LGBTQ community recently, but there hasn't been a significant increase in prosecutions of those hate crimes. And This is a moment, particularly during Pride Month. I wish it was all the time, but this is an excellent time for Joe Biden to be championing LGBTQ rights, something that's also super popular with the Democratic base. So he's not gonna lose any political points in doing it. And he's actually gonna be helping people. And they really seem to be dragging their feet and capitulating to this small minority of fascists who are anti-LGBTQ, when he could be championing the actual LGBTQ community and the vast majority of people who support that community.
Absolutely, and I just am like floored by. I think you're right. There are agitators, right? That's something that's really important to remember. I think there's a number of thoughts, right? But one of the thoughts that crosses my mind is like, man, everyone is nuts. Like everyone has been completely like Fox News pilled, Matt Walsh pilled. You got, a grown ass man out there in front of a school where his kid doesn't even attend, wearing a shirt that says, I'm gonna read it, "Teacher, don't bring your bedroom into my kid's classroom." what? Who are you? Don't you have anything else to do on a Tuesday? Like, what the hell? And so there's that. But then I think it is important to remember that for sure, just as those propagandists like Matt Walsh, like Tucker Carlson, who we're gonna be talking about later, just as those propagandists are outliers and they're stoking this kind of behavior, so are the Proud Boys. So are these agitators who are coming in being like, yeah, and they're sort of like caping as if they're concerned parents. Right, you can't go to a playground without a child with you, right? Why? Because we want to prevent creepers and groomers. Who's the creeper and the groomer at a school board meeting? Is it the mom or dad with a child who goes to school in that district? Or is it again the rando who you wouldn't allow in a playground without a kid coming in and like stirring up violence?
Right, it's disturbing. And I mean, not as I feel like it doesn't have to be said, but I mean, these are adults and they're brawling in a parking lot. I mean, grow up. This is you're supposed to be protecting the rights of children, and you are acting like children. Like, grow up and get serious. But I think that exactly like you just said, they're agitators. It's not representative of the majority of people's opinions on LGBTQ people. But this happening with increased regularity is cause for concern because the rights of queer people, the rights of trans people is at this moment one of the biggest civil rights issues of this time. And I think it's time for the Democrats to start talking about it like that and start talking about how this is being politicized when at the end of the day, it's a civil rights issue. That's
so crucial. Stop leaving it to like random brands like Target to be the ones to stand up and say something or do something. And we'll see, what the city of Glendale will do going forward. We'll see what Los Angeles will do, and so many other counties that have been facing similar threats because they dare do things like recognize Pride Month. Absolutely insanity.